Let's make 4 variations of the Mojito, one of the most famous cocktails in the history of mankind. Or my name is not Dr. Cork. The Mojito is a classic Cuban cocktail that originated in Havana. Its exact origins are disputed, but it probably evolved from the 16th century medicinal drink called El Drac, named after Sir Francis Drake. In the old days, the drink was made with aguardiente, a primitive form of rum, lime, sugarcane juice and mint. The modern Mojito we know and love today developed in the early 20th century in Cuba, coinciding with the rise of the rum industry. Today I wanted to make a few variations on the classic Mojito, so I won't add any liqueurs or fruits, but will show you how to make different drinks from the same ingredients: mint, lime, sugar, soda. Right after you hit like. Let's start with a classic Mojito. The main ingredient we're gonna need is mint. So, to the old-fashioned glass, add about 10 mint leaves. You can also spank them. Half of a medium lime, cut into 3 wedges. I'm going to make Mojito the traditional way, with granulated sugar, but in real life I prefer using rich simple syrup. About 2 tablespoons of white sugar. You can adjust the amount for your liking. Now, using a muddler, crush lime wedges to release juice, but be careful not to turn the mint into mush. Now add 1.5 to 2 ounces of Cuban rum, white Cuban rum, about 45 to 60 ml, and stir until sugar dissolves. This is why I like using syrups instead of sugar, because dissolving sugar in cold liquid is not the most trivial task. Fill the glass with ice and stir a little more. Now, some people prefer using crushed ice for a Mojito, but I'm not one of them. I hate crushed ice. It's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere. And top up with club soda, about 3 ounces to 90 ml, or as needed. Stir a little more and garnish with a mint sprig. It's minty, it's crisp, with a pronounced rum flavor. The kind of drink that makes you feel cool on a hot day without being overly sweet or fruity. A solid choice for when you want something light but still want to taste the alcohol. You could add a dash or 2 of bitters. They make a simple Mojito taste subtly more complex. Or muddle several slices of juicy ripe fruit with your mint mango, pineapple, peaches or even kiwi. Or you could try adding berries like strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, cherries and so on. To further enhance the freshness, muddle a few chunks of peeled cucumber or replace the lime with lemon. And basil also worked great in there, so sky's the limit. Cheers. But what if you want the minty freshness, but don't want to drink alcohol in the heat and possibly get wasted? You can make yourself a virgin Mojito, or as I like to call it, Mockito. I guess you could just make the same cocktail without the rum, but then the taste would be subpar, lacking the complexity the rum gives. So I'd advise to modify it. To the old-fashioned glass, add mint, about 10 leaves. Instead of muddling this time, I just gave them a short energetic spank. Instead of granulated sugar, let's add a syrup. You could use a simple sugar syrup, but I prefer adding orgeat or almond syrup for additional taste. About half an ounce, 15 ml of syrup. Freshly squeezed lime juice, 1 ounce, 30 ml. Fill the glass with ice and stir everything together. And the only thing left is to add the tonic. Of course, you can use club soda, you will probably need more syrup then, but the advantage of tonic is that it adds a touch of bitterness, which will improve the flavor. In the classic version, rum was responsible for that. About 4 ounces, 120 ml. Stir a little more and garnish with a mint sprig. The lime hits you first, it's tart and sharp, then the mint jumps in, cooling the things down, and the orgeat adds a hint of sweetness. I was doubtful about adding almond syrup, but it fits perfectly there. And tonic water brings some bite and fizz. Personally, I prefer these non-alcoholic variations on hot summer days. Before we continue, I want to remind you that you can find all the recipes on my website, thedrcork.com, link is down below. And if you want to support my channel, you can join the YouTube membership or become a patron. Thanks a lot. How about a frozen Mojito? It should be even more refreshing and even easier to make. The only problem is you're gonna need a blender. To which we're gonna add white rum, about 4 ounces, 120 ml. Freshly squeezed lime juice, 2 ounces, 60 ml. Rich simple syrup, 1.5 ounce 45 ml, and a handful of mint leaves, about 10 to 12. Add some ice and blend it vigorously, dedicating this blend to this comment. And garnish with a lime wheel. The whole thing is ice cold and slushy, perfect for brain freeze if you're not careful. It's refreshing as hell, and it's like a mojito on steroids. But be careful, because it's basically a summer in a glass, but it's pretty strong, so you can get wasted. Mojitos and non-alcoholic mojitos are delicious, but they have one problem in common: you can't see through them. That's why someone invented the clarified mojito. Clear cocktails are a trend of recent years. I'm rather cool with this whole movement because I like when drinks are colorful. It's part of the experience while enjoying a cocktail, but why not make a transparent mojito for a change? I've taken my YouTube buddy's recipe from the truffles on the rocks as a base, but modified it a bit. We'll be using milk for the clarification, and if you're lactose intolerant, I don't think you are in any danger because the milk will curdle and all the lactose will stay in the filter. I think so, but don't take my word for it. I may be a doctor, but I'm not a doctor. Take 8 to 10 mint leaves, spank them and put them in a mixing glass. Squeeze the juice of 1 lime, about 1 ounce 30 ml, and put the squeezed lime halves in there too. Add 2 ounces 60 ml of light rum, I'm using Nicaraguan this time, and 2/3 of an ounce 20 ml of rich simple syrup, or 30 ml of regular simple syrup. Muddle a little bit to wake up the mint and squeeze out the essential oils from the lime. Stir and check for balance. Next, if you have tonka beans, you can grate them a bit, but if you don't, that's not a problem. Just don't add anything, it's a mojito after all. Now to the separate glass add your milk, about 30 ml, and to the same glass strain out everything we've mixed before. The milk curdles immediately, which is exactly what we wanted. Now take a paper coffee filter and coffee funnel and pour the liquid into it. Wait about a minute, as you can see the liquid comes out cloudy at first, and move the funnel with the filter to the new glass. Now wait for about an hour and we get a see-through clear liquid. And now it's time to make a cocktail. We'll take a beautiful highball glass, put a see-through Collins spear in it, and pour our liquid. Stir a little to chill, and top up with soda, about 2 ounces, 60 ml. Stir a little more, and garnish with a mint sprig. The rum is there, giving it a nice kick. You get the lime and the mint, but smoother. It's like they've been tamed. All in all, it's a pretty regular mojito, just see-through. And the best thing is that you can batch it. Just make a whole ton of it and mix it with soda later. By the way, I have made an entire video about batching cocktails. Check it out. There are a million variations on the mojito, you can't make them all, and I think it's more fun to discover new things by yourself. So tell me in the comments which versions do you prefer. You can find all the recipes in text form on my website, thedrcork.com, and if you want to support my channel, you can join the YouTube membership or become a patron. Drink responsibly, and as always, до свидос.